students, welcome back to our online classes. So we were discussing about a chapter called data structure. In data structure, I just brief out what we have discussed. We have seen what is the definition for data structures. We have discussed about the classification. We have seen the operations which are performed on the data structure. So later we seen about the searching techniques and sorting techniques. In searching we have seen linear search and binary search. In sorting we have seen insertion sort. Okay. Then we have seen the array representation, one dimensional, two dimensional, multi-dimensional. And I told you today's class we need to start with a new concept called stacks. So during the classification I told you about the classification of your data structure. We have primitive and non-primitive. Under non-primitive we have arrays, lists and files. Under list we have stacks, queues, linked list. So it is under list we have linear and non-linear. In linear we have stacks, queues and linked list. So I can tell the definition for stack. Stack is an ordered collection of elements where the addition or deletion takes place at the same end, that is called as stack top. Okay, stack will have only one end where the addition of elements and deletion of elements takes place at the same end. So stack is also what kind of data structure? It's a linear data structure where we have addition and deletion of the element takes place at the same end, that is called as stack top, and usually stack works on last in first out fashion. So first let me tell you the definition for stack. What is stack? Stack is an definition for stack. It is an ordered, stack is an ordered collection of elements, Stack is an ordered collection of elements where addition and removal of elements takes place at the same end called stack top, or it's only called as top. Okay. Stack is an ordered collection of elements, and again stack is a linear data structure where addition and deletion of elements takes place at the same end, which we call as top of a stack. For example, in cafeteria or in hotels, you see a stack of plates. Plates are arranged one after the other, that we call as stack of plates, and the trays are arranged one after the other, that we call as stack of trays. Even in the bangle is an example. When we arrange the bangle in dozens, so we used to insert. So what we insert first, that will come at the last. So last in will be first out. So stack works on the fashion, we call it as last in first out. Last in first out, we call it as LIFO. Stack works on LIFO fashion. Imagine this is your stack. You push means you are inserting the elements. So imagine A, B, C, D. I have inserted the elements A, B, C, D. So the end where we insert the elements we called as top. Top is an end where we insert, and the bottom, this we call it as base. Okay, we can push the elements. So what we inserted first? A, B, C, D. Now when we want to pop is nothing but delete. Okay, this is for removal or deletion. Push means insertion. When you want to remove, how will I remove? I can't remove A first. First I have to, what is there in the stack top? D. What will be removed first? What is there on the stack top? I repeat, stack is an ordered collection of elements where the element when we insert last will be the first out. Okay, see last in will be first out. Now what is the last element we have inserted? D. When I pop, what will come? D will come. Next when I delete, what I delete? C. Next B. See, first I delete D, then C, then B. What I delete last? A. So what I pop last? A. So when I pop, first I will pop D, C, B, A. But when I insert, in what order I am pushing? A, B, C, D. ABCD, deletion will be BCDA. So inserting the element, the last element which we inserted will be the first out. So what is the first out? First out B. Next is C. B, A. What will be first in? What will be first in? A. Next I inserted B. Next I inserted C. Next I inserted D. What we insert at the last, that is A, B, C, D will come out first. So when you insert a stack of plates or stack of files, stack of trays or the bangles, so what we inserted at the last, we will remove it first. Okay. Next we will discuss the representation of stack, how to represent the stack in the memory. We discussed about stack. Stack is an ordered collection of elements where the addition of elements and the removal of elements takes place at the same end, that is called as stack top. Now next, once we have seen the definition, next we will go to representation of stack in memory. So how to represent the stack in memory? There are two ways, one is static way and dynamic way. In static, if you want to represent the static way, we have to use the arrays. So static representation using arrays. How we can represent stacks using arrays, that we call static representation. If you implement the stack by using array, we call that as a static representation. If we implement a stack by using linked list, we call it as a dynamic representation. I repeat, there are two ways of representing stack in the memory. One is by using array, we call that as a static representation. Next is by using linked list, we call that as a dynamic representation. So next, I have discussed about the array representation by using stack of stack. So by using array, how am I going to represent my stack? We all aware of that. Stack is a linear and ordered collection of elements where the elements are contiguously arranged in a linear fashion. See, I have taken an array. These are my index. These are my stacked elements. So I am implementing the stack by using an array, one-dimensional array. So the stack goes in this direction. The 0, 1, 2 is called as index. Okay. So here we have to talk about two conditions. Okay. One is top is equal to max stack and top is equal to null. So what is top? What is max stack? Max stack. Maximum stack, I call it as max stack. So top is nothing but the location of topmost element. What I insert at the top, at the last element, what I insert on the stack, that is called as topmost element. I repeat, what I insert at the last in the stack, I call that as a topmost element, your stack top. Max stack is nothing but the maximum number of elements that can be stored. So imagine 5 is your maximum size, so we can insert 5 elements into your stack. So here you need to check two conditions. If top is equal to max stack, that means top in the stack you can insert only 5 elements. That means my top will become 5. That is your max stack. Your max stack is nothing but maximum number of elements. Imagine that is 5. If you give top as 5, that means what? We have reached the maximum size. So in that condition we call it as overflow. That means stack is full. You have reached the maximum of stack. You have stored the maximum number of elements in a stack. Again, if you try to insert or add the element into the stack, that condition we call it as an overflow. That means stack is overflowing. That means stack is full. Overflow, we call it as full. The other word, overflow, that means stack is full. Next, if the top is equal to null, if the topmost element is the topmost variable, what we call in this end only used to insert or delete the element. When it is null or it is minus 1 or when the top is pointing to null or minus 1, we call that condition as null. When top is equal to null or minus 1, that means stack is empty, underflow. Once you do the pop operation, that means the delete operation, once you delete all the element in the stack, so we call that as after deleting all the elements, your stack will be empty. That condition we call it as underflow. So stack, mainly we need to check two conditions. While inserting, we'll check for the maximum stack, that is whether we are inserting the elements beyond the maximum stack size. Next, in the null, we'll check whether we have deleted all the elements in the stack is empty or what. If you want to check, for in that cases, we'll check top is equal to null. Next, see, I have taken an example of an empty stack. So what is this? So how do we insert the elements from the end, from the same end addition? It is having one opening. So in the same end, we used to insert the element into the stack. So I start inserting. Initially, your top might be null. So that way the stack is equal to, the stack is empty. So in the empty stack, now I want to insert, or I want to push the element 1. See, now I push the element 1, I pushed. Next, from the stack, from this end only, that is from the stack top, I am inserting the next element, that is 2. So in the stack top, I inserted 1 and 2. What is your maximum size? 3. If you want to insert one more element also, you can insert. Otherwise, I inserted 2 elements, 1 and 2. If I want to delete also, I can delete. Now, after inserting 1 and 2, I want to pop out the elements in the stack. That means I want to delete the element into the stack. So, what will be the first element to be? The first object which will come out is your 2. Why? Because this you inserted at the last. So, your last element will be first out. So, this is about the representation of stack in memory. So, I spoke about the first type. One is how to implement the stack by using arrays. I repeat this, we have used one-dimensional array. So this is your index, this is your stack elements. So when you basically speak about the representation, implementation of stack by using array, you need to talk about these two conditions, whether top is equal to, it is reached to maximum stack size, or top is equal to null. If top is equal to max top, it is overflow. If top is equal to null, it is empty or it is underflow. Next, we will discuss the dynamic representation of stack using linked list. Okay students, next I told the representation of stack using, there are two ways to represent the stack, one by using array and the next one is by using linked list. Okay, so the next one will use stack, how to represent stack by using linked list. So in linked list, I'll tell there will be two parts, one will be your data field. Okay, this is your data field, or it is also called as info field, where we insert the element into a link. The next field is called as link field or address. It contains the address of next node. Address of next node. So this package, this we call it as a node. Okay, node contains the data field as well as the link field. So data we call, here we store the data, and in the next we store the address of the next node, or we even call it as, it has a link to the next node. Usually it has the address of the next node. Okay, this we call it as a link field, this we call it as an info field. In the info field we store the data, that means the element which we want to insert we can store here. Address, where it contains the link, the next link, the address of the next node. So next node, for example, I have 25, this address, this link will contain. Okay, the next node is this one. So imagine this is node 1, node 2, node 3. Node 2's address will be present in the link field of node 1. Now here node 3's link address will be present in the link field of node 2. How will we identify that there is no further link? The last link, the link field, the node in which the link field contains null, we consider that will be the last of the link. Okay, that is the last field of your link. So last of your link. So how will you identify that we don't have any further links? That means the node contains null. When the link field of the last node is null, that means there are no further nodes connected to the link. Okay, this contains the address of node 2, this contains address of node 3, but node 3 is not connected, it is not having any other node, so the link field is null. 50, 25, 20 are the elements which we have stored in the linked list. I repeat, link will have a linked list, you have a data structure. So I told in the linear data structure, in the list we have stacks, we have stacks, queues, linked list. So linked list concept is yet to come. Now we are in stacks, but how to implement stack by using linked list I am speaking. So for that you need to have this much of idea. So if I talk about linked list, that is also kind of a linear data structure in which we have two parts. One is the data field or info field, next is the link field. Link will have address of the next node, data will have the information or the data, the element. Okay, so this particular thing we call it as a node. This is node 1, node 2, node 3. So this is the idea about linked list. Now when you want to implement the linked list for insertion, that is for pushing. So how we are going to push? Now see, we have a start field. Always the insertion takes place. The insertion takes place. So now when I insert, I need to insert at the end of my linked list. At the end only I can insert. Okay, why? Because stack is having only one end. At the end of your list, for example, I have node 1, it is ending here. So if I want to insert any element at the end of your linked list, you need to insert. If you want to do any deletion, you have to delete at the topmost of your stack. For example, I have a stack. Imagine I have A, B, C. So imagine C, here it is my top. So which element I will delete? I need to delete C. So deletion takes place at the topmost element, insertion takes place at the end of your stack. Okay, here at the end of your linked list. Here I am deleting at the topmost of my stack. Imagine this is my topmost node of the stack. So if I want to delete, I need to delete this node. Okay. So this is about insertion is at the end and deletion is at the topmost of your linked list. So this is about the implementation of stack using linked list. Next I will tell you about the operations of stack. So next we will discuss about the operation of stack. Later we will see the algorithm for push and pop, that is nothing but how to insert the element into a stack and how to delete the element into a stack. Later we will see the application and then we will wind up this session. Now I will explain you about the operation of stack. So operation of stack, every year they may ask you the operation of stack, or else for one mark question, I think last year in the midterm or I think in preparatory they have asked this peak. What is mean by peak? Peak, what it does, it returns the topmost element of the stack. For each and every function call, it tells us some operation. So we have stack. What stack does? When you call this function, it creates a new stack. A new stack is being created when you call a stack function. What is the next operation? We can do push. That means we can insert the element into a stack. So insert the push, I am inserting an element. So it means it is adding a new element into the stack by using the stack top. Next I have pop. Pop means to delete. Push means to insert. Pop means to delete. Pop tells removes the topmost item. So what we have inserted at the last, that we call it as the topmost element of the stack, that is removed first. Okay, next peak. Peak returns the top item of the stack. For example, in this stack, if I call a peak function, what will be returned? C will be returned. Why? Because what is there on the stack top? C. Where my stack pointer is pointing? To the stack top, that is nothing but C. So when you call peak function, it returns the top item from the stack. Next is empty. If you want to know whether stack is empty or what, it will check. If you call this function, you will get yes or no, true or false. Is empty. This function called test whether stack is empty. It is to check whether stack is empty. Okay. Next, size. Size returns the number of items on the stack. Now what is the size of the stack? Size of the stack is 3. 1, 2, 3. Like that, if I call size function, it tells us the number of items on the stack. Next, we'll see the algorithm to implement the operations on the stack, that is for push and pop. Next, we'll discuss about the algorithm for push operation. I repeat, we have an algorithm for push operation. So every year they may ask you the algorithm for push and pop, they may ask you the algorithm for queues, or they may ask you the algorithm for binary search. So binary search algorithm, push pop, insertion sort, and all these algorithms are very important. So in the assignment question I will give you, at the end I will give you the assignment question. You can write it down and submit it to me, but you just make it as important note that this push and pop algorithm is very important. So stack operation, definition for stack operation, and stack representation is also important. There are two ways of representing. One by representing using array, next one is by representing using linked list. Array it is static representation, linked list it is dynamic representation. Now the very important algorithm is push and pop. So first let me explain you push. I told push, the word we use to insert the element into a stack. So push contains stack, top, size and item. So stack will create the stack. Top variable we need to create to maintain the topmost element of the stack. Size tells us the number of elements that can be inserted into the stack, the maximum size. Item tells what element you are going to insert into your stack. So n here it indicates the number of elements. Item here, because this I will be using in the algorithm. So what n tells? N tells is the number of elements. Item tells the element to be inserted. For example, let me take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are the elements. So what is my n size? What is my n? N is 5. Okay. So these are the elements which I want to insert into the stack by using push operation. So I told you we have to check one condition. When you are pushing the elements, what you are supposed to check? You have to check whether the stack is overflowing, whether the stack has reached to the normal size. Till then you need to insert the element into the stack. Now top is equal to n minus 1. So what is the n? 5. 5 minus 1, that is 4. Why? Because here again we will start inserting from 0. So top will become n minus 1. Then print stack is full, or otherwise you have to insert the element into the stack. Now let me trace this algorithm. Now I have, okay, now I have a stack. Initially your stack will be empty, okay, so your stack will be pointing to somewhere else or minus 1. Initially it will be null, but when we start inserting the element, the if condition has to be satisfied. So what if condition tells? Top is initially it has to reach to n minus 1, that is 5 minus 1, it will be 4. If that condition reaches, you should tell the stack is full, otherwise you have to check, you have to insert the element into the stack. So first stack will be pointing to null. Now top will become, suppose it is pointing to null, you are incrementing. Okay, before that stack is null. Now you want to insert the item into the stack. So item I am giving it to stack top. So what is my stack top? If by using for loop, like if you are using in the programming, if you use loop, so initially I value if you are giving 0, if your top is 0, so what is your stack of top? Imagine I am inserting the element 1. Okay, next your top will become top plus 1, so 0 plus 1 is 1. Next you are inserting your element 2. Next your top will be incremented. Instead of 1, 2, you can even take 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Here I have inserted 10. Here I am inserting 20. Next your top will be incremented 10, 20, 30. Again your top will be incremented 10. So here first when you insert it will be here. Next your top will be pointing here. Next your top will be pointing here. 20, 30, 40. Next your top will be pointing here. Again when you increment, so your top will be pointing here. So once your now top is equal to 4, once the stack size is full, you need to check, you need to tell that print stack is full, because I started inserting all my element into the stack. So I repeat, so initially I'll just tell I'll just insert the element into this top. So imagine I am giving it to 0. Next I give it to 1. Top is incremented to 1 plus 1. It is incremented by 1. Next my top will be pointing here. It is incremented to 3. Next 1, 2, 3. Next 4. Next 5. Next top will be pointing to the index 4. That means your stack size is full. You need to tell the stack is full. Once this condition comes, we call it as stack overflow. It has to print stack overflow or stack is full. This is about your push algorithm. So I repeat, in the push we have 4 steps. First step, you will have an if condition telling that whether your stack is full. Next you start exactly inserting the element into the stack and you keep on incrementing the top. While doing an insertion, we are incrementing the top. Top will become top plus 1. Why? Because we are inserting the item on the text. Every time the top value gets incremented till it reaches the maximum size. So this is about your push operation. Next we will discuss about pop operation. So next we will see pop operation. First we discuss about push operation and algorithm for push. Next we will see an algorithm for pop operation. So in the pop operation, first we have to check the condition top is equal to null. Okay, once you are popping, once you are deleting the element into the stack, we need to check whether the stack is empty or the stack is underflowing or the stack is null. To check that condition, we initialize, we have a top is equal to null. If top is equal to null, then you have to print stack is empty. I'll tell you the condition how the stack will become empty. Now exit and your if statement you are ending. Now stack top you are giving it to the item. Okay, when stack top you are giving it to the item, stack top is nothing but if I tell stack top is 0. At 0 position if I store the element 10, 10 will be deleted. So like that you will be keep on popping. Initially it will start from the stack top, you will be keep on popping or keep on removing the element into the stack. Now every time the stack operation, the stack variable gets decremented. Why? Because you are deleting the stack, your elements are deleting, your stack top will be decremented. In push operation it will be incremented. Top will become top plus 1. Here it is decremented. Top will become top minus 1. By 1 it is decremented. Now see here you have a stack. So I have taken stack from 0, 1, 2. Imagine I have inserted the element 10, 20 and 30. So my top is pointing to the position 2. Okay. Now I am popping the element. When I pop, see now I want to pop 30. When I want to pop 30, so what I get? My item, to the item variable I give it to stack top. What is your stack top? 2. What is stack of 2? Stack of 2, I have the element 30. So your 30, I delete the element 30. 30 gets deleted. Again top will be decremented by 1. So now top will be pointing here. Now top is pointing to 1. Okay. Now again top value get decremented. My stack of 1, what element I have? I have element 20. So now 20 gets deleted. 0, 1, 2. Your top will be pointing to 0. So what is stack of 0? Stack of 0 I have 10. Now I'll pop out 10. So stack is now empty. We deleted all the elements into the stack. So here now in this case your top is equal to null or top will be pointing to minus 1. So here the stack is empty. So we can tell this condition is satisfied. Then that time we will have a statement. It tells us that stack is empty. We'll exit. The if statement ends. Okay. I repeat. Once we start inserting the element into once we start deleting the element into the stack, your top of your stack gets decremented. The top variable gets decremented. So first, what is your topmost element into the stack? We have 30. Then decremented. We have 20. We removed that. Then we have 10. So we have deleted all the element into the stack. So finally, your stack will be empty. It tells us, it pops you the message that stack is empty. So we discussed about push and pop. Now the last concept is we'll see the application of stacks and then we'll wind up this session. Now this is the application of stack. So in the application of stacks, where and all stacks are being useful. So So where we use in backtracking. In backtracking the algorithm or in backtracking the places, even in the puzzles we use stack, and in language processing we use stacks. We have conversion of decimal number into binary, we use stack there. To solve the Tower of Hanoi problem, we use stack there. We have a problem, you may have not aware of that. We have to just like by using temp variable, how we used to exchange the thing. Similarly, we have a problem, Tower of Hanoi, that can be solved by using only this stack. Next, we have expression evaluation and syntax parsing. To do the evaluation of expression, we need stack. Then conversion of infix to prefix and postfix, we have that as the next concept. There I will tell you when I do that conversion of an expression from infix to postfix or postfix to prefix, we need to have stack. So there we have stack, we use stack, and rearranging railroad cars, here also we use stacks. So these are the application of stacks. So I'll just to give you the revision, I'll just brief out what we have discussed in today's session. In today's session we started stacks, okay. Stack is a linear data structure. It has an ordered collection of elements where the removal and the addition of elements takes place at the same end, that is called as stack top. Later we have seen the representation of stack by using, in the memory how we can represent stack. One is by using array, that is static representation. Next by using linked list, that we call it as a dynamic representation. When I talk about the representation of stack by using arrays, you need to check for two conditions. Top is equal to null or top is equal to max stack. That means maximum size. When the the stack top reaches to the maximum size, it tells the stack is overflow. When the stack is null, the top is equal to null, that means stack is empty, that is stack is underflow. After that we have discussed the operations on stack. We have push, pop, is empty, size, peek, all these are the operations on the stack. Once we discuss the operation, we moved on to the algorithm of the two operation, main operation push and pop. So in push and pop, pop means to delete, push means to insert. There are only two statements which varies. First, what we do in the insertion, will increment the top and we insert the element into the stack. Here in the push, we just first will tell what element we give the stack top to item, then we will decrement the top. So push and pop. After seeing the push and pop, we discussed about the application. So this is end of today's session. We'll see the remaining concepts in the next class. Okay, thank you students. We'll discuss the remaining concepts in the next session.